Now we're going to assemble the card. Let me show you how that's going to work. You could actually do this before you start the embossing, or you can just stamp the image on a scrap piece of paper. And you're just going to center it up. And you're just going to use these as a reference point. So now you're going to take your ruler and you are going to connect one corner to the next. So basically, in essence, you end up with this plus sign going across here. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cut on this line. I'm looking for my blade. Okay. Just make sure that you open up your card, because if you don't, you're going to cut all the way through it, and that's one of those things I would probably do because I forget details like that sometimes. So now what you're going to do is you're going to cut along that line that you just did. But what you'll have is you'll have these papers, these corners that are going to get pulled back. Okay? Alright, what we need to do next, because I need to stamp, is you need to go ahead and, let's go ahead and insert our panel for the back side. Okay, I feel like I've got embossing powder everywhere now, but so if you see me wiping, that's probably what I'm doing, is wiping embossing powder. So let me find my right side here. I'm all turned around here. See all the embossing powder in in my adhesive? Okay, did I mention that it's a bit messy? Okay, so there's your proof. Alright, it's coming out of my adhesive container there, so you can't say you weren't warned. Okay, so we press this down. Now we're going to use the corner stamp that comes with this set. I picked this one. Of course you can use that one if you want. And I did this in the desert sand, and you are going to stamp in every corner. So if you're using the Barn Red, like I did in the instructions and on the virtual convention, I used desert sand. But for this particular one, I'm going to go ahead and use chocolate for this part. Now, because you've already cut it, you have your guides, so where your corners are going to go. Okay, so now we have our corner stamp there. Okay, now what we can do is pull our images back. So I'm going to need my embossed covered piercing pad. And what we're going to end up doing is we are going to pull these corners back. So I put my piercer pad in here. You can use a mouse pad if you don't have that. And I start by pulling this back. Now apparently I adhered a little too close. So what I'm going to do is just make, I'm going to have a little more space here than I had on my other card, but I need to do both cards. Okay. I want this to show a little. Okay. So kind of hold it where you want it, and then we're going to pierce, and I did it right here. And while I have everything in place, I'm going to put my brad. I'm using Colonial White. Okay. And you want this to be rounded. You do not want to flatten that. That's what gives it its dimension. But this is a neat card where you could just put a sentiment in here and let it show through. You could do, another option you could do is you could do a piece of acetate and stamp on the acetate and adhere the acetate here. We're going to take another panel and hide the wrong panel and end up covering this up. Okay, the first thing we need to do though before we worry with the embossing thing is we need to place this here and close this up, and we're just going to draw with our pencil the opening, just trace the opening, because we need to know where we're putting our embossed piece. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put adhesive on the back of this. Oh, and before I put that down, I want to put adhesive outside my diagonal here. So I'm going to put, this was the tricky part, maybe you want to put this here. Now you need to put this piece, the cracked piece, in where the pencil lines were at. Dark paper's so hard to see, even the pencil lines. Okay, now don't press down too much because you want to make sure it's lined up when you close this. I'm gonna move this over just a bit. And then press down all those edges where you had the adhesive. Press this down. Right, and I think we're good to go. Open it up. I'm going to use an epoxy clip from Close to My Heart, Marks Passages, and I just think it's gorgeous. I'll use this one for the first card I did, but I'm going to use this one here. Brings out some of the barn red, but I want to tie a piece of ribbon in the clip, and you just need a single tie there. And I'm going to put this on the right side of my card, so I want my ribbon on the right side of my clip. Alright, there you have it. We've got the cracked glass technique there, along with some bonus bedazzles and gold ultra thick embossing enamel. Alright, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye bye.